Okay, see here. Average voltage V average is equal to 1 by total time period 2 pi. Integral of initial limit is 0. Final limit I am not taking 2 pi. Because from pi to 2 pi, your voltage is 0. From pi to 2 pi, we are not getting any output voltage. This is 0 to pi. What is the instantaneous voltage here? See here, instantaneous voltage. Peak value into trigonometric function. Instantaneous value is equal to peak value is Vm, maximum voltage, into trigonometric function sin omega t. That is the instantaneous input voltage. Now I am taking here inside the integral instantaneous value. That is Vm sin omega t is your instantaneous value. On x-axis I am taking omega t. On x-axis I am taking omega t. That's why I am taking d omega t. This is the form. Limits are 0 to pi only because your output voltage you are getting from 0 to pi. But your input voltage is from 0 to 2 pi. But here output voltage is only from 0 to pi. Negative cycle you are not getting. Now calculate this value. That is average voltage 1 by 2 pi. Vm I am taking outside. That is constant. Vm is taking outside the integral. What is integral of sin omega t?
Minus cos
omega t. Minus cos.
Okay, minus cos omega t. That is Vm by 2 pi. Right down. That is the V average. Average voltage is equal to Vm by pi. So in exam you have to derive this. For what you are deriving? For what you are determining the average voltage? For input voltage or output voltage?
Output voltage.
For output voltage, you are deriving the average value. Okay. Your input is DC. Sorry, AC. Output is DC. This is called pulsating DC. Your output is called pulse. There is only one polarity you see. Only positive polarity. There is no negative polarity here. That's why your output is DC. If you are having both polarity, that will be AC. Your input is AC. Your output is pulsating DC. So in exam, we have to derive this average voltage formula, Vm by pi. Average voltage of the half wave rectifier is Vm by pi. Okay. Next, we'll go for RMS voltage. What is the formula for RMS? We'll take squares on both sides. Formula will be same. We'll take squares. On left side, I am taking square. Vrms square is equal to, and instantaneous value whole square. Vm sin omega t whole square. Instantaneous value whole square. Now I have to determine the RMS voltage. See here how we will determine. Vm is constant, take outside the integral. Integral cannot be applied directly for sine square. Square terms we can't apply. That's why first I am converting into linear term. That is sine square omega t is equal to 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2. This is the linear equation. Now we can apply the integral on this. Bring this to outside the integral. I am bringing to outside. That is 4 pi. Integral of 1 omega t is 1 into d omega t is. What is the integral of 1 into d omega t?
Omega t.
Omega t. Integral of cos 2 omega t is
Sine 2 omega t by 2.
sin 2 omega t by 2. Sin 2 omega t by 2. Write down this. Now we'll substitute the limits. This is the RMS voltage. Vm by 2 for half-wave rectifier. So in your plus 2 also you have derived the same thing. RMS voltage is equal to Vm by 2. So this is the RMS voltage for half-wave rectifier. So in exam, you have to derive this average value and RMS value. They'll ask for 5 marks in exam. Derive the formulas for average and RMS value for half-wave rectifier. Now we'll go for the full-wave rectifier. Full-wave rectifier FWR. Done. Full-wave rectifier. Siding. Full-wave rectifier. Draw the circuit. Draw the- We are having 4 diodes D1, D2, D3, D4. One blurring is coming on. Okay, we are having 4 diodes D1, D2, D3, D4. Your load is R. Your load is resistance R. I have drawn the output load, but an input you have to take. Input is your sinusoidal voltage. Input is your sinusoidal voltage. Now see how we will connect this sinusoidal voltage. Here, this sinusoidal voltage is having 2 terminals. One terminal I am connecting in between D1, D4. One terminal I am connecting in between D1 and D4. Second terminal I am connecting in between D2 and D3. So AC voltage is connected in between A and B. AC voltage is connected, input voltage is connected in between A and B. Your input voltage is instantaneous voltage, that is V is equal to Vm sin omega t. V is equal to Vm sin omega t. Draw the circuit. This is the bridge rectifier, full wave bridge rectifier. This is the full wave bridge rectifier. Now see, what is the input here? AC or DC?
AC.
Input is AC. Rectifier means output will be
DC.
DC. We have to get the output voltage DC. Output voltage is taken across the load, across R. Okay. Now we'll see how to convert this AC to DC. So first of all, I'm drawing the input voltage you see here. First I will draw the input voltage. Draw this input voltage. Vm is the peak value. In input AC it is, because we are having both positive cycle, negative cycle. This is the input voltage, AC voltage. Okay, I think we are drawn. Now listen here. During positive cycle, this is the polarity. Upper terminal is positive, lower terminal is negative. During positive cycle. Negative cycle, what will happen? Negative
Current
cycle.
flows from
Upper
negative
will
to
be
positive.
negative, lower will be positive.
Upper will be negative, lower will be positive. Okay. Good. Now see here. Pause. One second. Now here, during positive cycle, your A is positive, B is negative. This terminal is connected here, A. This terminal is connected to B. A is positive, B is negative. This is for positive cycle. But for negative cycle, A will be negative, B will be positive. First, we will discuss about positive cycle. See here. First, I am discussing only positive cycle. Your positive cycle is from 0 to 5. Your positive cycle is from 0 to pi. Now I had told that, write down this. In the previous class, I had told this. Anode is positive, cathode negative means forward biased. Diode is short circuited. Anode negative, cathode positive means reverse bias. Diode is open circuited. Off. Diode will be off in reverse bias. In reverse bias, diode will be open. Please write down this. We'll apply this in the circuit. Okay. Now see here in the circuit during positive cycle.
D1 forward, D4 reverse.
Okay. Now my mobile is falling down. 1 minute. I don't know why it is falling. Your diode D1, see, positive is connected to anode. D1 is forward bias. Same positive is connected to cathode. D4 is reverse bias. That means D4 is open. Reverse bias means D4 is open. D1 is short circuited. Now come to this limb, this line, this limb. B is connected, negative is connected to anode. D3 is forward bias or reverse bias? Reverse bias. Now negative is connected to cathode means D2 is forward bias. If negative is connected to cathode means that will be forward bias. Now during positive cycle, only D1, D2 are on. D3, D4 are off. Madam, note. During positive cycle, D1, D2 are on. During positive cycle, D1, D2 are on. And D3, D4 are off. D3, D4 are off. Right on the next point. Next point. Current always flows from anode to cathode in diodes. Current always flows from anode to cathode in diode. Current always flows from anode to cathode in diode. Because diode is the unidirectional device. Current always flows from anode to cathode only. Now see here, current always flows from negative to positive. See here, I have already told right from the first class onwards, current always flows from negative to positive, like this. Current is flowing from anode to cathode. See the direction of current. I have marked the direction. Current is flowing from negative to positive through D1 from anode to cathode, then through load. Current will not flow here, open circuit is here. Current flows through load, then through D2, again like this. This is the current direction. Through R, through D2, again into the source, again D1, like this. This is the current direction. Draw this diagram. One more diagram you draw. Draw this diagram. Have you drawn?
Yes, sir.
Now see, write down the note point, note source. In source, how the current direction, upward or downward? This is the source input.
Upward, sir.
Upward, sir.
Current is flowing upward. But in the load,
Downward.
Upward.
downward. Write down note. In source, current is in upward direction. Write down. In source, current is in upward direction. But in load, current is in downward direction. In source, source means input. Okay. In source, current is in upward direction. But in load, current is in downward direction. Current is in downward direction. So in the circuit, you keep in the direction of current, you can take plus and minus in resistor. In the direction of current, we can take plus and minus. Now your output voltage is I into R. Your output voltage is I into R. That means we are getting the output voltage during positive cycle. Now see here. I'm drawing the output voltage from 0 to pi. So up to now we had discussed only 0 to pi. So V0 is equal to I into R. That voltage I am drawing. Output voltage V0 is equal to I into R. Now I'll go for the negative cycle. See, now I'll go for the negative cycle. In negative cycle, In negative cycle, the polarity will be changed. Upper terminal will be negative, lower terminal will be positive. Now here A is negative. A is negative, B is positive. B is positive. Now, when A is negative, D1 forward bias or D4 forward biased? Which one?
D4 forward.
D4 forward, because negative is connected to anode. This will be open circuited. Now here, D2 is reverse biased. Now you draw this circuit. Now you can draw this circuit. Negative cycle, pi to 2 pi. Your D3, D4 are on. D1, D2 are off. Draw the circuit and explain. Now tell me, in the source, current is in upward or downward?
Downward.
Downward.
Down, because current flows from negative to positive.
Negative to
Negative.
positive.
Previous circuit, you see current changed. Here, current direct. This is the input voltage. In the input voltage, current direction is changed. That's why you are getting negative cycle. Now we'll go to the current direction. See, current always flows from anode to cathode. Current always flows from anode to cathode. See the direction of current. Current is flowing from negative to positive, then through diode D3, then through resistance, then through D4, again negative terminal, again positive terminal, again D3 like this. This is the current direction from negative to positive like this. See the direction. If you are having doubt, you can ask me in this direction. So in the input, current direction is changed, but in the output, is current direction is changed to the previous circuit and this circuit. Change in the positive cycle or negative
sir.
cycle. Okay. In the load, current direction is not changed.
Yes.
Polarity is same. In the positive cycle, it is in the downward direction. In the negative cycle also, it is in the downward direction with the same polarity. Here, polarity is not changed. That's why polarity is not changed, and we are getting the output voltage. V0 is equal to I into R. In the negative cycle also, we are getting output voltage, but polarity is not changed in the output. But in the input, polarity is changed. Since in the output, polarity is not changed, this negative cycle is also converted to positive cycle. Why means polarity is not changed. Same polarity is maintained in the positive cycle and negative cycle. Now negative cycle is converted to positive cycle. See, in the input negative cycle, but it is converted to positive cycle. The reason is In the output, the polarity is not changed, but in the input polarity is changed. Since input polarity is changed, we are getting negative cycle here. But in the output polarity is not changed. That's why negative cycle is converted to positive cycle. So for one cycle I have explained. For remaining cycles also the same thing. For remaining cycles also you will get the same thing. Same cycle is repeated. So what is this output voltage, DC or AC?
DC.
Non-pulsated DC.
Okay, pulsating DC. We are having only one polarity. If you are
No,
having
sir,
two polarities,
non-pulsating.
oh, what is that? Hello?
It's not pulsating DC, I'm telling.
It's pulsating DC. It is not straight DC. It is pulsating DC only. See, pulses are there here. This is the pulsating DC. Straight DC means it should be like this. This is the constant DC. This one is pulsating DC and this is the constant DC. Okay. And our output is pulsating DC. Okay. So now we have converted AC to DC. The meaning of rectifier is which converts AC to DC. Input is AC, output will be DC. Now we will derive the average output voltage for this V0. Average voltage and RMS voltage. Total time period of one cycle. See here, I'm taking, see, symmetric cycle. This is 0 to pi, whatever the voltage you are getting. From pi to 2 pi also same voltage I am getting. Suppose in case, if I take the limits 0 to 2 pi, we'll get 0. Average voltage will become 0. But here if you see the output voltage plus and plus, it is not 0. If you add these two, it is not 0. But see in the input case plus and minus, it will be 0. That's why I'm not taking the limits 0 to 2 pi. Actually, you have to take the limits from 0 to 2 pi because we are getting the output voltage from 0 to 2 pi. Since these two are symmetric cycles, I'm multiplying with 2 here. For one symmetric cycle from 0 to pi, I'm calculating the average value with 2 cycles. This is one cycle, this will be second cycle. Since 2 cycles are there, multiply with 2. Limits you take from 0 to pi. One cycle, this is one cycle, 0 to pi. I'm multiplying with 2 because 2 symmetric cycles are there in one time period, in one cycle. In one cycle, in a period of 2 pi, we are getting 2 symmetric cycles. That's why I'm multiplying with 2. I think you have understood why I'm multiplying with 2. Suppose if I take the limits 0 to 2 pi, if you apply the integral and substitute the limits, you will get 0. But here output voltage is not 0. That's why I'm multiplying with 2. So in half-wave rectifier, we have taken from up to 0 to pi. See in your derivation in the last class, sorry, in this class only you have derived. See average value we have derived today. What you have got here? 1 by 2 pi, 1 by total time period of one cycle. Integral of 0 to conducting period. Conduction is up to 0 to 2 pi, but I am taking only pi, multiplying with 2. Instantaneous value is Vm sin omega t, d omega t. What is the value you have got? Just now we have derived. See, we have derived that today for half-wave rectifier. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Okay.
It is Vm by pi. So for full wave rectifier, average voltage is 2 Vm by pi. For half wave rectifier, it is Vm by pi. But for the full wave rectifier, it is 2 Vm by pi. Then we'll go for the RMS voltage. See here. I'm taking squares on both sides. VRMS square, instantaneous value whole square. But here I'm not. Here I am taking squares on both sides. VRMS square, instantaneous value whole square. I am not multiplying with 2 because here the limits I am taking 0 to 2 pi. I am taking 0 to 2 pi. If you take square, automatically RMS value will never come to 0. That's why I am taking the actual limits 0 to 2 pi. Your conducting period is from 0 to 2 pi. 0 to 2 pi I am taking. Now I had to derive the RMS value for this, RMS voltage for this full wave rectifier. Okay. See here how we will derive. Bring this to outside the integral. Integral of omega t, that is 1 is omega t. Integral of cos 2 omega t is sin 2 omega t by 2.
So that downside part is not visible.
Okay, 1 minute. I am. Finally, you'll get Vm by root 2. RMS value of full wave rectifier is Vm by root 2. So this formula you have to remember. VRMS is equal to Vm by root 2 for full wave rectifier. So in this way, we are converting AC to DC with the help of rectifier. Full wave rectifier means both positive cycle or negative cycle will get output voltage. Half wave rectifier means only during positive cycle will get output voltage. That is the conclusion. We have completed the full wave rectifier. Right on this. So we have derived these formulas for half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier. But you have to remember only this formula. Vrms is equal to Vm by root 2 because we'll use this formula in the problems. This formula is sufficient if you remember. RMS voltage of full wave rectifier is equal to RMS value of full wave rectifier is equal to Vm by root 2. Only this formula is necessary for in the problems. In exam, they'll ask the derivations for 5 marks, either half wave rectifier or full wave rectifier. You have to derive the formulas. Now I am defining one factor that is called see here. Form factor is represented with Kf. Symbol for form factor is K suffix F. K suffix F. Form factor is equal to, formula is RMS value by average value. In exam, sometimes they'll ask the form factor of full wave rectifier. You know the formulas. You have to write this one, 1.11. Formula you have to write. Formula you have to write. You have to substitute the values. I think blurring is coming, 1 minute. Okay, anyway, write down, I will tell. Form factor is represented with Kf, that is equal to RMS value by average value. Kf is equal to RMS value by average value. We substitute the full wave rectifier formulas. You know, full wave rectifier formulas is Vm by root 2 RMS value, and the average value is 2 Vm by 5. If you substitute that, you will get 1.11. This value you remember, because in the third unit in transformers, we'll use this factor in the derivation of average voltage of transformer. We'll use 1.11. This is very important. In exam, they'll ask for 2 marks. What is form factor? So you have to write this one up to 1.11. Form factor. Next factor is crest, CREST, crest or peak or amplitude factor. Crest or peak or amplitude factor. It is represented with K suffix A, Ka. K suffix A, Ka. That is equal to maximum value by RMS value. Maximum value by RMS value. We know maximum value is Vm. We know maximum value is Vm divided by RMS value is Vm by root 2. If we cancel Vm, we will get root 2. That is 1.414. Generally, they won't ask this one in exam, crest or peak or amplitude factor, but you should know. They'll ask only form factor. In exam, they'll ask only form factor in university exam. Okay. Today I have discussed half-wave rectifier, full-wave rectifier, and two factors. One is form factor and the one is crest factor. Okay. So I will take the attendance, go through this.